Back there? Yeah. Sorry, there's the lady and then the gentleman behind her. Yeah, go ahead. The sweater? Yeah. Yeah, you.
How did the factories feel about you coming in and filming, and did you have to reimburse them in any way, or were they open to you just coming in and using their...
Cool. Okay. How did the factories? What was the relationship with the factories? How did they respond to your request to film?
They were really skeptical in the first place. When we first, I remember in the first year when we tried to film in the parents' factory, which is a smaller in size. It really took us a strenuous time. I invited the factory boss for dinners. I sweet talk him. I think I spent a week just trying to get access to film a little bit with the parents, and in the end we did I guess just a couple of days, like 1 week of filming in the first year with the parents. So factory access had always been an issue for us, but like how you develop a relationship with your subject. Basically, when you're making a documentary film in real life, it's like as you are dealing with anybody in your own life, you want to make friends with them. You have to convince, for the factory bosses, we have to convince them that this film is not going to do any harm to your factory, and we just want to tell a story, a truthful story. So yeah, it's the same case for Qing's factory. The second year when she quit her school and went to work in another factory, it took us another couple of weeks trying to get the access. So it always strenuous, but we were never asked to pay or reimburse anything.
Yeah, just right behind that lady. Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
wondering, did you always conceive that the film would be without narration?
Did you always conceive the film without narration?
Yes. I guess I came from a TV background. I used to work for CCTV, if you notice, the Chinese state broadcaster. I was a cameraman and a reporter before. So we also make sort of TV format documentaries there, and it always comes with a lot of narratives. And I just don't think that format or approach is what I want to do with this film. I really wanted to make cinema, have a cinematic story for my film. So yeah, this has always had been the approach I wanted to do without narration.
It's extremely cinematic. I think everyone would agree with me on that. Or that right there?
Yeah. Did you have any trouble with Chinese authorities in terms of them allowing you to tell the truth about what's happening there?
Question was whether there was any issue with the authorities, any problems.
Yeah. Well, when we were shooting, we ran into small situations here and there. For example, in the first year when we go to the village, we were sort of questioned by the local officials. But I guess thanks to my experience working at CCTV, the state broadcaster, I kind of know the way to deal with the officials. Sometimes you need to bluff a little bit. Sometimes you just need to really talk to them, convince them that this is not going to harm you as an individual. Because I think they don't really care that much about the ideology. They really just want to make sure that what you are doing is not going to harm them as an individual. So once if you can convince them that, you're pretty much they pretty much going to leave you alone. So we had some stumbles there in the village, and we had a couple times being questioned when we were shooting the crowd at the train station. But they're, I guess to me, minor troubles. We always shot sort of under the radar. We never applied for a permit, a shooting permit, or anything like that. I used to work with another documentary film called Up the Yanzi. it was made a couple years back, and the director Yong Chang, we worked together along the Yangtze River and in many villages. We did it the same way, so we never asked for permission. And for this film, we actually had some quite good, I wouldn't say good, but positive gestures from the Chinese government. So far, they asked us to do a backdated application for the film so that we can maybe get a screening license, a screening permit for Chinese market. So we'll see where does that take us.
That is positive, in a way.
Yeah.
And right there. Good question. The question was what kind of equipment you used and how you avoided sort of being, since you were in crowds, and how you avoided being acknowledged, or how you shot in crowds.
Yeah, very good question. We shot with a big news camera in the first year, and it totally didn't work for us. It kind of, everyone is looking at you and looking into the lens. So we shot a lot of footage in the first train ride, but ended up using very little. So the next year, the second year, we got smarter, I guess. We switched to a smaller camera, also HD camera, with very good image quality. That also contributed a lot to the intimacy we were able to get with the family in their private life. And also at the train station, we tend to keep a low profile. We avoided using a camera light all the time. We just shot with whatever light we had. So yeah, small camera, really good. They're really good nowadays, technology. That's most exciting, especially for documentary filmmaking, I guess. So yeah, small camera, easy to maneuver. I also had a very small crew. There are four of us. I had a cameraman working for me. He's great. He's doing so much awesome work, and the soundman is actually my brother. So we keep it, and of course assistant. So when we're shooting with the family at the train station, there are only 3 people in the crew. The assistant is not there. So yeah, we try to keep a really low profile, and I guess that's how we were managed to get those great footages at the train station.